the assassination of Serizawa Kamo, the first chief commander of the Shinsengumi. This was no mere internal conflict. It was Hijikata Toshizo's ruthless act of organizational defense, staking the future of the Shinsengumi. Serizawa Kamo's misconduct was egregious, eroding the trust of the Eizu domain. The Shinsengumi, soon after its inception, faced a crisis of survival. But then, in fact, an even more astonishing truth was hidden within this. What exactly was Hijikata's other objective? One unknown even to Kondo Isami. In this video, you will learn: why did Hijikata lead the assassination? What were Serizawa Kamo's true crimes? And what ruthless truth did the Shinsengumi conceal? Now, let us delve into the truth of Serizawa Kamo's assassination, kept secret by the Shinsengumi. In the main feature, we will also detail the tense atmosphere at the Yagi residence just before the assassination. In Bunkyu 3, 1863, the Rashigumi was formed to maintain public order in Kyoto. This would later become the Shinsengumi. Serizawa Kamo was one of its chief commanders. Hailing from the Mito domain, Serizawa held strong Sano-joi beliefs and great pride as a samurai. However, he was known for his violent temperament. Meanwhile, the Shikin group, including Kondo Isami, Hijikata Toshizo, and Okita Sashi, also joined the Rashigumi. They were a group that valued organizational discipline. Eventually, the Rashigumi changed its name to Shinsengumi and came under the care of the Kyoto Protector, the Eizu domain. It began with a three-commander system: Serizawa, Kondo, and Nimi Nishiki. However, discord echoed within the core from its very inception. It was a conflict between the hot-headed Serizawa and the Shikin group, who valued rationality. When drunk, Serizawa Kamo became uncontrollable, causing numerous disturbances in the streets of Kyoto. His actions significantly tarnished the Shinsengumi's reputation. Particularly famous was the brawl with Osaka sumo wrestlers. Serizawa's faction slashed the wrestlers with katanas, causing a major commotion with injuries. Furthermore, he even caused an incident destroying the Agiya Geisha house in Shimabara. He slashed walls and ceilings with his sword, demanding money and committing all sorts of outrages. Due to these scandals, the Kyoto Protector, the Eizu domain, grew increasingly distrustful of the Shinsengumi. In the worst-case scenario, the core faced disbandment. Serizawa Kamo was not merely a ruffian. He was an intellectual who studied Mitagaku, possessing strong Sano-joi beliefs. Perhaps those convictions were the source of his aberrant behavior. With the core's survival at stake, Kondo Isami and Hijikata Toshizo grew increasingly anxious. Hijikata, especially as a cold realist, began to consider Serizawa's elimination. The Shinsengumi could not be allowed to end as a mere band of thugs. For Hijikata Toshizo, the Shinsengumi was a vessel to realize his ideals. Serizawa's rampage threatened to destroy this vessel. Hijikata resolved to protect the Shinsengumi, no matter the cost. The assassination plot was devised primarily by Hijikata Toshizo. Key members of the Shikin group, including Kondo Isami, Yamanami Keisuke, and Okita Sashi, were secretly gathered. Then, on the 18th day of the 9th month of Bunkyu 3, the stage for the assassination was set at the detached building of the Yagi residence, which served as the Shinsengumi's quarters, Serizawa Kamo's lodging. That night, Serizawa Kamo was holding a drinking banquet with Kondo and others at the Yagi residence. The plan was to attack him once he was drunk and asleep. However, Serizawa was cautious and did not easily get drunk. The plan faltered, and the assassins grew increasingly anxious. Small surprises always lurked. Had Hijikata Toshizo anticipated this situation? He always thought several steps ahead. By this point, he must have already conceived of his next move. Late at night, Serizawa Kamo finally succumbed to drink and fell asleep. Seizing that moment, the elite squad, including Hijikata, Okita, Yamanami, and Harada, infiltrated the detached building. Attacked in his sleep, Serizawa tried to grab his sword in a fleeting moment, but he was outnumbered. After a gruesome struggle, he met his end. His concubine, who was with him, was also caught in the crossfire and met a tragic end. That night, the Yagi residence was stained with blood, becoming the stage for a tragedy. The assassination of Serizawa Kamo was a turning point in Shinsengumi history. From this incident onward, the Shinsengumi transitioned to a system centered around Kondo Isami and Hijikata to Shizo. Hijikata was also meticulous in covering up the incident. He instructed the master of the Yagi residence to explain it as the work of robbers and announced it as such to the outside world. Kondo Isami, upon seeing Serizawa's body, is said to have shed tears, lamenting what a pitiable fate. Were these false tears different from the truth he knew? Although Serizawa Kamo's death caused temporary turmoil within the Shinsengumi, it ultimately strengthened the Corps' unity and served as an impetus for establishing organizational discipline. Hijikata Shizo's ruthless judgment transformed the Shinsengumi into a powerful force responsible for maintaining public order in Kyoto. Was his choice the right one? This assassination became a symbolic event, demonstrating the extent of the ruthless decisions the Shinsengumi could make for its future. But why was Hijikata able to go so far? Hijikata Shizo wanted to establish the Shinsengumi not just as a samurai group, but as a public order organization that would earn the shogunate's trust. Serizawa Kamo's existence was the greatest obstacle to realizing that ideal. His assassination was a necessary evil for the Shinsengumi to uphold its justice. Serizawa Kamo was not truly evil. He, too, was a samurai who lived by his convictions. It was simply that his convictions clashed with what the era and the organization demanded. And the truth the Shinsengumi concealed might have been their ruthless choice itself, made in the narrow gap between ideals and reality. The truth behind the Serizawa Kamo assassination, concealed by the Shinsengumi, was Hijikata Shizo's cold and ruthless decision to protect the organization itself. Serizawa Kamo's true crime could be said to have been undermining the Corps' order and the Eizu domain's trust, thereby jeopardizing the Shinsengumi's very existence. And the ruthless truth the Shinsengumi concealed was their resolve and choice to eliminate even their comrades in order to achieve their ideals. Under the Makoto banner of the Shinsengumi, what justice did they truly wish to protect?